Hey YouTube, Parson Rick here. What a week. Crazy. But you know what? I felt better just opening that jar of Peter Stokovy's Proper English. Smelled so good, I felt better. I'm an addict. Smoking it in my new Savinelli unfinished. I'm going to call it a Lavat. Got the wide, flat oval stem. If I'm wrong, you let me know. Got it from Eddie Gray over at the Pipe Nook. Recently. So, yeah. Very nice. I've needed to sit and relax for some time now. Why is that, you say? Well, let me regale you with a tale. If you've been following along, you know that my daughter and her guy are here visiting from Montana. And so Wednesday, I went out to, he and I were just going to spend some time getting to know each other, and took off in the truck. If you remember, I've got a 2018 Toyota Tundra that I picked up while I was off work recuperating. And, that's the proper time to spend a ton of money, is when you're not working. So we took off. It was pouring down rain. Just took off to go find something to do. And we'd already shot the machine guns over at the indoor range, and grabbed some guns. We're just going to go up in the hills, maybe. So, off of Highway 20, just west of Philomath, there's a place called Burnt Woods. Little old pioneer store there, and a road called Harlan Road that heads back up into the hills, headed towards Highway 34. That only matters if you're in this area, so take it or leave it. Anyway, so we're headed up there, and we get to this little burg town, 3 houses in a row, called Harlan. And the road comes to a T, and if you go right, it goes off to Elk City, and then on out to Toledo and Newport, and then to the Oregon coast. It's not paved, but that's where it goes. And then I saw that the sign to the left said Mary's Peak. I knew where that road went. And you know, my philosophy of a perfect road is one I haven't been on before. So we'd already been on this Harlan Road, and it was perfect. And so we headed up, and there was a sign that I'm relatively educated, you know, well read, have 3 degrees, but I do tend to ignore signs. Chronic bulletin board reader, but I do tend to ignore the traffic sign. And this particular sign said narrow winding road with turnouts. Piece of cake. So we headed up this narrow winding road that we're in the middle of a winter storm, and it goes to one of the highest points in the local area, where from the top of it you can see both the Cascades and the ocean. So it gets up there a bit. It's up above a summit of the road. I've never been there this time of year, and there's a reason for that. to be revealed. So we're driving up this narrow, winding road with turnouts, and we get up there some undetermined amount of hours later, or miles later, and there starts to be a little skiff of snow on the road. Now, oddly enough, we had been going ahead over to the coast, but as we start to go over the road, Highway 20 going out to the coast, there's a sign that says snow advisory, traction devices or change required. Well, I had neither, and in my new Tundra, although it's a four-wheel drive, it lacks anything resembling a tire that even copes with rain, much less mud and snow. Just a straight passenger tire that came from the factory. So we're going up there. There's a little skiff of snow, no big deal. There's a little more snow, and a little more snow. So while there were turnouts, and these turnouts were almost wide enough to let a motorcycle pass you, going in the opposite direction, but nothing that a car could cross paths, and nothing at all that you could turn around in. I was starting to get a little trepidatious. But Daniel, trooper that he is, active duty military, he said, let's go for it. I don't think he was serious, but, you know, a bravado was in the air, and I think he was trying to show off for the old man. But anyway, we just keep going. Well, by the time we actually arrive at a place where we could turn around, the snow is too deep to do so. So we have no options except to soldier on. And I'm thinking, I don't really remember how far it is up to Mary's Peak. I remember where the little gravel road comes out on the main access road, which is paved and wide and well maintained. So we get up there, we keep going, and we keep going. The snow gets deeper and the snow gets deeper. And finally we reach the point where we can go no further. It's, 18 inches, maybe foot to 18 inches somewhere. Passenger car tires, right? Having no other option, we proceed to back down the road that we had just come up. And we did fine. Round the corners, just chugging right along in four-wheel low, and getting a little cocky perhaps, and all of a sudden, we're backing up, and the front end goes zoop, just zoop. Next thing I know, the abrupt cliff on the right-hand side of the road is 4 inches from my tire. Now, I'm an Eagle Scout. The Boy Scout motto is be prepared. We had nothing, no food, no water, no shovels, no chains, nothing to get us through. Oh, did I forget to mention that it had begun to snow very, very heavily. He's in tennis shoes and light cotton socks. I'm in cowboy boots. Have you ever tried to walk on the snow in cowboy boots? It's not done. Just not done. Did I mention there was no cell phone coverage? Because we're on the back side of this huge mountain. Anywho, spoiler alert, we didn't die. I'm right here. So it's a little anticlimactic. So Daniel says, well, I'll go up and see if I can find some coverage. And I give him my AAA card. He hikes up, and I told him, I said, do not go longer than a half an hour. At half an hour, if you haven't got anything, come back. he probably went 45 minutes. Found a spot. Called AAA. They did not service that area, but gave us the name of somebody who did. He wanted $500 minimum to come up and drag us out of there. Daniel didn't feel comfortable giving the okay for my money to be spent at that kind of a clip. So he called my daughter, let her know that we were up on the hill, and he came back. So he's gone like an hour and a half. I'm a little concerned. And let's say I was praying quite a bit. Anyway, we went on up. He came back, and he told me that he didn't give the approval. And I'm thinking, $500, okay, that's only $250 a piece. I'm worth it. I'm pretty sure you're worth it. Dying is not an option today. So we tried a little bit harder and got the truck a little bit more stuck. He hoofed it back up there, and the poor guy, I mean, I knew he thought I was going to die. I walked, like a half mile or something, and I was, but he did it up and came back, and so he got back to the car about 3:30, and they said they're on their way, they're leaving now. Lovely. We sit in the car. I've got a full tank of gas. You run the heater. Dry out the socks. Snows again. And the sun sets about 6 o'clock. He volunteers once again in the pitch black. I mean, there's no moon, cloud cover, snowing. He volunteers to go back up the hill. I said, no, you're not. You're not doing it. I said, we'll make it through the night. I got enough gas to run the heater, and we'll be okay. We had warm coats and all that. So we just kind of settle in for a long winter's nap. 7 o'clock, I'm sitting back there, eyes closed, just, I had one prevailing thought this whole day: stupid. I was just like, stupid. I must have apologized to him 100 times. I am so sorry. See, years ago, I came up with the philosophy, and it was proven true again, that a four-wheel drive only has the ability to get you stuck someplace you had no business being in the first place. It has been my experience with four-wheel drives. And so we're sitting there in the dark, and he said, I see a light. Now, my eyes, I didn't see a light. And then I did. Big LED light bars. A 2001 Jeep Cherokee pulls down. 5 guys jump out of it. They said, sorry it took so long. And they came from the deep snow end. They didn't come up the shallow snow end. They came up the deep snow end from Mary's Peak. And they said, oh, we're sorry. There are 4 abandoned vehicles on the road ahead of you, and we had to pull them out of the way. And our tow truck got stuck, so we had to go back and get the guy's wife's Jeep. He hooked that Jeep with just a tow strap to my truck, went wonk, 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 straightened me back out, towed me halfway up the hill. We're still like 5 miles from the road in the snow all the way, and it kept getting deeper. At one point, we're about 3 feet of snow. And I must say, the Tundra with passenger car tires did great. I only got stuck a couple of times when there was obstacles. And then we went back up there, and from the time they had come down to get us, there were like 3 big Dodges stuck nose deep in the snowbanks. And this little Jeep was running back and forth across the ruts. He had big old tires on it, and probably with like three pounds of pressure in them. So we lived. We got out of there at 9 o'clock. We got out. Oh, thank God for those guys. And I gave him the $500 and I gave him a tip because thank you, Jesus. So that was a heck of a day, and it's been 15 minutes, and that is only part of my week. But I lived through it. Spoiler, and Daniel, if you're watching this, dude, you saved my life. You're a hero in my book. There is no way this old fat man recovering from heart surgery in cowboy boots would have gone up that hill, and the 10 miles down that hill, broken bones, I am certain. But and now and we've had another winter storm coming in, so it's worse up there. But I really needed to sit down with a pipe. It's Sunday. That was Wednesday. And the week continued to get better. But we're good now. God bless. Parks and Rec out.